I'm Kaye and I'm a late bloomer. Welcome to part 1 of growing sweet peas. Now, this is the second time I've grown sweet peas, and I was determined to improve upon last year. Did I make it? Let's find out. In late October, when many people in the world are settling in for a long winter's nap, in Southern California, we are planting cool season crops. The good thing about year-round planting is there's no downtime. The bad thing about year-round planting is there's no downtime. I planted my first row of 100 seeds on October 19th. I planted the rest of the seed on October 27th, about 200 more seeds, including leftover varieties from last year. I thought 300 pea vines should keep me in peas for a while. Then I put down alfalfa for the narrow walkways. Here's how the pea shoots looked on Halloween. Now, sweet peas are one of my favorite vegetables to eat, especially fresh right out of the shell. Your peas will never make it out of the front yard. So I committed even more space this year than I did last year. I had taken extra pains to install more trellises after last year's experience. I figured as long as I get the netting up before the shoots are a foot tall, I'll be fine. And I did. A month after first planting, it was clear that quite a few seeds had not germinated and there were gaps. Here's where my precise planning took a dive. Determined to use every square inch of my pea patch, I stuck extra seeds in the gaps, but I didn't write down what I planted or where. I think I discovered that I planted some snow peas in here. Late bloomer lesson, take notes. 6 weeks from planting seed, the vines were bursting with life and the blooms couldn't open fast enough. Here's how the winter garden looked on January 8th. Some of the vines were almost as tall as me, and I finally had all the netting in place. The next morning, one of my monarch butterflies had just emerged from her chrysalis. She managed to drip dry in the sun before the winds hit. These tendrils are hanging on for dear life. January 22nd was the last time the vines looked really good. There was just a little bit of yellowing at ground level. I wasn't worried. Got a nice batch of snow peas for supper. I was worried 4 days later. I went out to harvest more peas and do a little weeding and realized I had a problem. So I'm just doing a little investigating of my sweet peas and noticing some of the vines have brown and yellowing leaves and shrunken stems at the bottom, whereas at the top they might look okay. This pea I just took off of a yellowing vine, and you can see that the color of the shell is a little washed out compared to this one. Could be the fact that we had a very cold December and a very, very hot January in the 80s. And these vines probably said, hey, it's summer, we better set our fruit. Some of these vines look good. Of course, the ones that look good, I put on the shorter trellises. And the taller trellises, the 6-foot trellis, I have 18-inch to 2-foot vines. Because the sun goes over my garden this way, I put the tallest trellises in the back and planted the seeds accordingly. So I would have the tallest vines in the back so they would get the sun. It didn't work out that way. I couldn't have predicted colder than normal temps in December, and what was in store for January. These shells are a little bit too tough now, wow. Come back for part 2 of growing sweet peas when I do battle with, you guessed it, powdery mildew. What's your secret for growing sweet peas? I'd love to know. Please leave me a comment, and while you're down there, please subscribe. I'm Kaye, I'm a late bloomer. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Don't bite off more than you can chew. What's that mean anyway?
I love that sound.